Jim really wants to thank Dave Farkas for the idea that he could participate with his new play. Up until now, Jim has, as many of you know, written story poems. So this is a new venture for him. And I know a lot of people in here that have maybe written their first play, and other people haven't, and I know Dave always wants to encourage people to do that.
Yes, anyone interested in contributing a play to Goat Hill, please talk to me.
So, you've all been there. You know, you're on the phone, you've called the bank, or your credit card, or your insurance, or your doctor, and there's that music. Not asking, hoping they don't play the Valkyries, wishing they would play Claire de Lune, but as Jim told me once, he used to really like Peruvian flute music. Anyway, so Jim Halliday is on the phone with his doctor's office.
I am somebody. I am somebody on the phone. You'll find out. Well, finally, a real person. Yes, I've got the, I think I've memorized the hours and the address, and I think you've told me at least 3 times that this conversation is going to be recorded. What? You can't hear me? That's a first for me. Okay, no. I do not want to call back and have to go through all that waiting period again just to maybe get a better connection. I will talk loud. I will speak loud. I will use my outside voice. Can you hear me now? Good. Okay, what's next? Last name? Farkas. First name David. Born January the 1st, 1958. Yes, I've just had my birthday. Okay, yeah, well, thank you very much. So, who am I talking to? Ashley. Oh, yes, Ashley, I am surviving the cold weather very well, thank you. Some of the houses in my neighborhood have these wonderful, long, pointed, wonderful, in the sunlight they glisten, these icicles hanging from their eaves. And we are indeed being recorded, is that correct, Ashley? For training purposes. Yes, I understand. Well, a couple of things, Ashley. Actually, I am recording this conversation too. Well, I guess I would just like to have a record of what is being said and what might be promised to me in case I ever wanted to. Well, let's just say for training purposes. My training purposes. Continuous improvement, right, Ashley? Well, before we get to what you can do for me today, I would like to ask whether you or your organization feels it has the right to use my conversations. I'm a writer, Ashley, and what I produce in the way of words are mine and are protected by copyright. Well, it's just something I think you all ought to think about. My words, my thoughts, my opinions, my preferences are mine. and are actually kind of being fought over in the digital world as we speak. Well, thanks for asking. I write mystery novels, murder mysteries. Well, it's very simple. I would like to be connected to my doctor's, nurse's answering machine so I could ask her to give me a call back and we could talk about what's bothering me. Ashley, why can't you connect me to the answering machine without knowing what it is I want to talk to her about? Well, could you just ask her to give me a call? You can't even do that? Hang on, Ashley. Hang on just a second. Okay, Ashley. I had forgotten to turn off the stove. The kettle was boiling over. My kettle was boiling over. Where were we? Okay, we were talking about trying to get a message to have the doctor's office call me back, a private message. Think about it, Ashley. What if I had a very, very private, personal problem? Something like maybe erectile dysfunction? Would I want to talk to just anybody about that? Would I want to talk to the telephone receptionist at my doctor's office? Well, are not my relations and my interactions with a doctor private and protected by HIPAA? I'm assuming you've had some HIPAA training, right, Ashley? You know, this whole thing kind of reminds me of how it seems like down south, and probably Texas, there's a high school dropout that gets to decide whether or not my insurance company is going to cover the operation my doctor wants to do. No offense, Ashley. Well, could you just let her know that I think the latest meds aren't working right? I'm having some very ugly thoughts. Well, at the slightest provocation, I keep remembering those beautiful, magnificent icicles. And what a wonderful murder weapon they would just melt away. And every time somebody bothers me and causes me stress, I see that icicle going right in the side of their necks, right into their carotid. And you know what? I'm just loving it. Ashley? Ashley?